Here at the CSO Partnership for Development Effectiveness, we believe it's extremely important and useful to share our perspectives and best practices. As a platform made up of civil society organizations or CSOs across over 100 countries, we have plenty of collective experience. This collective experience and know-how have been combined to create a series of capacity development materials. We are pleased to present to you CPDE's first ever project management guide and training modules for CSOs called Demonstrating Results and Accountability, the CPDE Program Management Experience. The guide and training modules on project management are intended for CPDE members and other CSOs planning to implement a project on effective development cooperation. A needs assessment exercise with CPDE members helped inform the development of this module. The learning content was thus developed by CSOs for CSOs to effectively manage programs and demonstrate results in their EDC projects. It provides learners with templates and strategies to handle every stage of the project lifecycle. The training modules are offered along with the guide so that CSOs, educators, and community leaders can adapt the course to their local context. Depending on the needs of the course conveners, the training modules can be adapted to be taught face-to-face, virtually, or in a hybrid mode. The course has been designed to be taught over 3 modules in 2 sessions, but is flexible for adaptation. CPDE is here to provide technical guidance if needed. Let us walk you through the contents of the material. Part 1 of the guide provides a historical snapshot of CPDE's effective development cooperation work. This section clarifies the link between programs and policy advocacy and discusses the relevance of effective project management in CPDE. Part 2 looks at the project planning stage, including the strategies to define the problem and its relevance. It also discusses the value of having a clear theory of change and how it can aid in the other components of project management, especially in monitoring, evaluation, and co-learning. Part 3 discusses the various project management dimensions. It examines principles and strategies for managing scope, time, costs and grants, quality, human resources, procurement, communications, and risks. Finally, Part 4 discusses monitoring and evaluation, or M&E. It starts with the principle of results-based management and discusses the relevance of the logical framework, or log frame analysis. This section also provides recommendations on establishing an effective M&E strategy for organizations using the log frame. By tapping into the already rich skills and knowledge of CSOs, the goal is to bolster projects that work towards effective development cooperation and, in doing so, strengthen our civil society platform.
In this video, we will talk about the Network Management Guide and Training Modules to Advance Effective Development Cooperation, or EDC. This guide offers CPD members and other CSOs the tools, resources, and practical guidance to improve their operations and organizational practices. Training modules are offered along with a guide so that civil society organizations, educators, and community leaders can teach the modules in their local contexts. CPD is here to provide technical guidance if needed. Depending on the needs of the course conveners, the training modules can be adapted to be taught face-to-face, virtually, or in hybrid mode. Also, the course has been designed to be taught over 4 sessions, but is flexible for adaptation. Amongst the materials, you will find theoretical concepts, case studies, lesson plans, and worksheets. Here is an overview of the Network Management Guide. The first module introduces learners to basic network management concepts and describes basic networking and partnership principles. It also discusses the organizational life cycle and stages of a network. The second module covers network management for advocacy networks, providing an overview of how advocacy networks function and the different structures and strategies for organizing advocacy networks. The third module hones in on CPDE as an advocacy network. In this module, learners will refresh their knowledge on the EDC framework and the 6 areas that CPDE works on. Also, they will delve into the different frameworks and approaches CPDE works with, including EDC, the human rights-based approach, and the feminist approach, and how they are implemented. The 4th and final module will put all the reflection and theory into practice. Participating organizations will draw out an action plan to advance their network management goals. By the end of the guide and training modules, organizations will have enriched their grasp of various approaches, attitudes, and behaviors to help them reflect on their policies and practices. But more importantly, the network management guide and training modules were designed so that all the reflection and planning done during the learning period will lead to meaningful action that transforms and fortifies participants' networks relations. After all, CSOs need to work together and as a movement to build lasting change. Collaboration and coordination among CSOs through partnerships and networks are necessary to challenge unequal power relations and strive for a development model that is oriented towards eliminating poverty and reducing inequality.
In their role as independent development actors, CSOs aim to help bring about policies that respond to people's needs. From the ground up to the high-level meetings, the advocacy work can take many forms. These should be effectively planned and designed to generate the change they want. The CSO Partnerships Advocacy Toolkit was designed to support CSOs within and outside the platform to advocate for various causes: human rights, social justice, decent work, gender equality, environmental sustainability, and democratic processes in development cooperation. This toolkit provides CSOs with the necessary information, guidance, practical tools, and step-by-step process to build and carry out an advocacy initiative for effective development cooperation in specific local contexts. So, what can we expect from this toolkit? To begin, this toolkit covers relevant information on EDC, including its principles, arenas of engagement, and applications. It also defines what advocacy is and goes through the CPDE policy cycle process. Then, from theory to practice, let us guide you through a step-by-step process to set your agenda, formulate your advocacy messages, implement your action plan, and eventually monitor and evaluate your activity. Each step of this process includes a series of practical activities that will help you and your team design your advocacy action in the most impactful way, tailored to your local context, audience, desired outcomes, and aligned with your organization's goals. Together, let's advance effective development cooperation through impactful advocacy actions.
For more information and to download the guides and training modules, visit the resources page of our website, csopartnership.org.